number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
Security level 1. Suspicious. Attempting to reacquire target. Triangulating source of disturbance. Infiltrators departed.
We verify before we amplify.
Not yet! Hold on!
Make Pinnacle Meal Replacement Bars the complete part of your daily meals and of the plan. Designed for optimal nutritional extraction, they also taste acceptable. From the order...
Plasma tolerances exceeded.
Never forget, we will
Air jump, not a good look, Commander.
your fractions should never be.
Do not worry when things become complicated. When the school is done. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. We have tools to tame high-order equations. They are useful in problematic occasions. You can take the formula's derivative, or use square roots of numbers that are negative. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. Calculating the center of gravity of a shape possessing concavity, or a shape with manifold convexity. You can manage any such complexity. Complexity is partially imaginary. Need for fear. The concept
Due to an anomalous event, the interstitial hall and exhibition tower is off limits for the foreseeable future to any and all non-essential personnel. All requests to view the prototype rift anomaly modulator are hereby suspended for the time being. Please direct all further queries and study petitions to the lead researcher's office.
You are listening to Grand Plan Wireless, Arcadia's voice of reason. Prepare for profundity. The moment's at hand for another installment of Ask a Vicar with Vicar Meg Sai. A listener asks, why did the order split from the Protectorate? Well, this is certainly a well-worn question. Must be from a fresh Auntie's Choice convert or the like.
Oh, always eager to cover old ground for a new student. The principal reason for our schism, of course, was the Protectorate's abandonment of reason. Or more specifically, their warping of the Matriarch's vision, idealism rooted in scientism. Presiding Bishop Ruth Bassett, empirical evidence was copious. We parted ways with the Protectorate just as Auntie's Choice began their invasion of Arcadia. An invasion we predicted. Yet it took our Protectorate colleagues by surprise. Clear proof the Sovereign had lost sight of the grand plan. That he'd become encumbered by delusions of godhood, distracted by grief, obsessed with the rifts. He failed to foresee the real threat of corporate incursion, while his consul increased the browbeating of their subjects into ideological submission. Without the guidance of the grand plan and the Matriarch's original vision, the Protectorate was lost. We did not abandon them. They abandoned the plan. If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. The future is colliding with the present every moment.
And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
These outer worlds are cruel. The universe is cold.
2.7 Kelvin, if truth be told.
Scientism is a lonely field. We research double-blind.
The very fact we found each other boggles the undisciplined mind. I can count on you, you can count on me.
With a golden ring,
Yeah. The electric mind.
Subjects, listen well. Days ago, our beloved sovereign, in his infinite wisdom, submitted himself to mental refreshment to strengthen his resolve for the good of all. At his command, I, Emery Thoreau, now accept the responsibility of shepherding you through these dark times until our sovereign's blessed return. I shall not take this duty lightly, for I address you today not as the consul, nor even as your new leader, which I am, but as a simple man who wants nothing more than to defend his home and his neighbors. But I cannot do it alone.
I smell regicide. The Sovereign's certainly dead.
I reckon that's Protectorate for I assassinated the Sovereign and seized control. If true, this console will be a nasty one to go up against.
Dry those tears as I call upon you to stand tall with renewed. We will finish our great sovereign's work and purge Arcadia of those who seek to harm us. We shall clench our victory and step into the prosperous future our matriarch promised.
Hostile ahead. What's the play, Command? Arcadia, members of the Yellowstone, our colony, Arcadia. It's over there? Oh, our selfless sovereign, matriarch's mercy.
Recharge
You can count on me, and I can count on you.
Broadcasting cognitive resonance across Arcadia, this is Grand Plan Wireless.
Step aside. Why? All on the wrist.
Tenured Sears and our own programming schedule, it is time for another illuminative installment of Ask a Vicar, featuring Vicar Magsaysay. Asks, what is the difference between the Protectorate's paradigm and our grand plan? Vicar, enlighten us, if you please.
Why not ask the difference between a raindrop and the sea?
I know how this looks, but I can assure you I have leave to look into... Oh, you're not security. Then you must be responsible for all the commotion I heard just now.
We solved the universal equation. The paradigm, on the other hand, is nothing. A void.
For both our sakes, I think it best if we continue as we were. I will forget I saw you as long as you extend me the same courtesy.
Rewritten their history, edited their old media.
I was looking for proof, if you must know. There was an incident recently, and I believe our head of security is neglecting his duty to investigate. Albin Valancourt is the sentinel charged with supervising this facility and all its researchers. Unfortunately, he's a punitive man who delights in the wretchedness of others. I'd grasp a live rod if I could pass its current to him. Although, unless you have unusual license to be here, his odds of keeping head and body united diminish by the second.
I'd be more than happy to accelerate that timeline. I am quite handy with sharp instruments if you'd prefer it done quiet-like. Or I can just improvise. Always more fun that way.
Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based
It has always worked for me.
Do I know you? Your voice sounds strikingly familiar.
I don't think... I mean, definitely not. You must be mistaken.
Well, Your assistant seems spirited, but do not mistake me. I only want the appropriate measures to be taken in response to what appears to be a significant security breach.
Simplistic. Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numismatics for those new to the Order.
Unless your lamps have oxidized, you must have noticed my arm. I lost it saving the Sovereign from a rift experiment gone wrong. An experiment I was in charge of, naturally. Valancourt supplied my name for the reports, incriminating me in the eyes of my colleagues. And since he's closed off that wing of the lab, I can't prove my innocence.
So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of
Coincidence is not causation, I know. But with recent events being what they are, it's difficult not to draw certain unpalatable theories beyond mere incompetence. Sabotage comes foremost to mind, though the perpetrator and purpose remain a mystery. If only Valancourt was not at permanent cross-purposes with me.
Note, I am frequently asked why isn't one a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself?
Suspects. I only began this cerebration mere minutes ago. Until today, assuming one of my staff held malice aforethought toward the Sovereign would have been inconceivable.
What good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask, what good are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use
Much can be said of Valancourt's unsavory character, but a traitor he is not. But if not him, then who?
But there are also, how should I say, practical
I should have known you were here for the prototype. But for what ill-begotten purpose, I wonder?
Our archive uses primes for that reason and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage.
Scientific curiosity does not exclude an intent to harm, just as being sovereign does not preserve one from needing mental refreshment, apparently. Even though we have expanded our efforts beyond the modulator's use, Valancourt would still pay for such a theft. And I'll need it to reopen the rift in the closed-off wing. I couldn't possibly rely on an outsider to help me conduct an investigation, could I? No, that would be outrageous, unthinkable. Except, whatever the cause of the incident, it is my duty as a law-abiding Protectorate subject to gather proof and uncover its cause. Really, Valancourt is forcing my hand here.
Discover one of these proofs and become the next senior tenured laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics for the Order of
That
the
is privileged information.
A lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good disquisitions to you all.
Some things I cannot divulge, even under pain of death. This is one of them. All I can say is that the prototype is just that. A proof of concept rendered in miniature. Back to the topic at hand. Do we have an accord? Or do you intend to make further errors in judgment by rejecting my help?
Cordial greetings, fellow students of the Order. I once again have Vicar Magsaysai on hand.
The prototype rift modulator is currently in Interstitial Hall at the top of Exhibition Tower. There's a lift in the next room over that can take you directly there. Once you have the prototype, make your way to Valancourt's quarters. He should have a spare key card that will grant us access to the restricted wing. I'll monitor your progress from here. Be cautious. The guards of this facility will attack anyone unfamiliar to them. But once you have the key card and rift device, reconvene here, and we'll go together to the wing.
United in furtherance of scientism, I will provide a thoughtful answer. Sadly, the Protectorate's befuddled masses are convinced we rejected them in their hour of need.
Valancourt keeps all of the items he confiscates from the staff in a locked closet in his quarters. There may be something pertaining to the investigation within.
Against the corporatist tide and tend to Protectorate
I've already shared more with you than I ought have. But go ahead.
Protectorate's puppet regime attempted the arrest and execution of presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar 3 years ago. There's sufficient range.
That's an ugly way to describe a legitimate transfer of power. And if you're trying to bait me into expressing an opinion of my superiors, I assure you I will not.
All they have is their paradigm, a 5-year-old's book report on the plan. Elementary math at best. Just hollow hokum, poorly conceived.
A technicality. He's inferior in every way that matters.
When that happens, we will reunite in thought and
The Interstitial Reconfiguration Center was created to continue researching into rifts, following a significant setback to our studies elsewhere.
The seers among you already know.
How do you know about that? That disaster and its link to the death of the Sovereign's family was not made public. No one outside of this facility is supposed to know of it. Regardless, even though Horizon Point's destruction did impede our progress for a time, we learned from it as well. We're now able to generate rifts safely within containment. Or we were. Due to the exacerbation of the greater rift recently, these lesser rifts became less stable. Some breaking containment or spawning outside of it altogether. In public, Henry has adopted the affectations of his father. In private, he is much more personable, though meddlesome too. Always wanting to be involved in the experiments. He becomes most animated when we discuss how matter might be reconstituted from the rifts. What was lost somehow returned. You could say he has a vested interest. His motivations are personal. All I am willing to say is that he is a man who loved his family very much and would move planets to see them again. He and the Consul wore coats cut from the same stern cloth. Henry has never quite matched either of them, in terms of temperament or severity.
We can't be expected to sleep in these conditions.
Better than bivouacking on Cloister. Now the toe's missing his testament.
Reporting is so neighborly, suspicion rightly so.
Unfriendly company. They're mine.
What? Merits.
For this installment of Ask a Vicar, especially with today's proverbial doozy of a query. A listener asks, I ain't got time to suss out the difference between the grand plan and the universal equation. Now let's turn to Vicar Magsai for the answer.
First, based on the vernacular of that question, and it's not even a question, I shall assume the inquirer is no academic. Indeed, I theorize they're from Auntie's Choice. No doubt a cast-off from their consumeristic society, what they might call a rung leech. To this listener, I say, welcome. We vicars are always gladsome to educate the ignorant and to maximize comprehension of our new corporate freedom. I shall present my answer in as few syllables as possible in the lingua franca of Auntie's Choice. Product Difficult to consume just one. The crunchy morsels scattered yon and hither represent the fundamental building blocks of the universe. To the layperson, this random scatter of purple matter looks chaotic. But we in the Order see the underlying structure, the math beneath the mess. Every artificially flavored berry on my desk did not settle in its place by happenstance. It was positioned by atomical electrodynamics, by momentum, the mass attraction of neighboring berries, the desk surface beneath them, the planetary object beneath the desk. The berries' balance followed a predetermined order, no different from the spill of stellar material known as the Milky Way in the night void. We call this order the Grand Plan.
It's calling to us. There's something inside it that wants to come out. You can all hear that, right?
That calculation is a universal equation. Once we solve it, and it's only a matter of time, we will know all that ever was or will ever be. Not only will we predict reality, but we will ascend to godhood.
What happens next may surprise you, but not us. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of the follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
There it is. The Rift Modulator. Surely it can't be that easy. Just taking it.
Quickly, use the modulator to open the rift. It may provide your only avenue for escape.
To the unsubtle thief. Yes, you with the rift modulator. I've made the intercom available to you. Avail yourself of it. It's not every day that someone is fool enough to break into the Interstitial Reconfiguration Center. I'd be obliged if you would regale me with the tale of how you managed to get this far. Prototype modulator. The first of many such devices we've created here at the center. And regardless, that one won't remain in your keeping long. I suspect you did not reach here unaided. So who was it? Which one of my undutiful brain boxes helped sponsor this little pilferage? Act glib if you like. All you've done is illustrate the need for more invasive auditing of my personnel. I'll be sure to inform them of your role in that unpleasantness. Well, there will be time to scrutinize every angle of this breach at a later date, once I have dealt with you. I could also reduce you to a state of quivering agony, begging for death. And that would be a lot more enjoyable for me, if I'm being candid. No matter. I will await you in the hangar. where bullets may fly more freely than words, if you survive that long.
Hey now,
Shimmy to your...
Matriarch's pride. We can't be expected to sleep in these conditions.
better than bivouacking on Cloister. Now the toe's missing his testament.
Trust the plan. Observe set progress.
Trouble ahead.
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. A formal audit of the grounds.
Universal equation. Once we solve it, and it's only a matter of time, we will know all that ever was.
By my
Shimmy
next
to your
victim,
heart's
I may be the
reasonable
hostile
abandon?
No, that's only for celebrating the downfall.
Say, remember that time the Sovereign caught us comparing pitchball cards? He was so excited about you having that vintage foil of his favorite Sovereign slugger.
That was ages ago. I'm a Protectors of Piety fan now.
Isn't that the console's favorite team?
Events from Presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar.
Fellow Ascendants, it is not hyperbole to state we live in perilous times for scientism. All it took was some light instruction and a restorative cocktail to abrade my imperfections.
Not an ideal course of events, yet none represents the peril of which I speak.
Disruptive influences!
Our greatest enemy is distraction. We must not let events outside our control divide our attention, or we risk incongruence with the grand plan. That way lies. We are the Order. We cannot control misfortune's ebb and flow, but we can predict it with reasonable precision, as if tracking the tides or charting the shoals. Embrace rational thought, stick to the plan, and unlike trajectory brethren, the fair winds of scientism will carry us to ascension.
Keep put, much is left to come. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Don't be reluctant to unfold any rifts you come across using the modulator. They may eject something useful to you.
And then one day our eyes did meet, and fate set into motion that telltale surge of dopamine and increased oxytocin, so adrift within a flood of hormonal flirtation. I shall share with you now my heart's complex equation.
Think we can open that goopy rift now? I want to see the flow.
planetary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. We hope this transmission finds you analytically industrious, esteemed colleagues on Cloister, but might we take a moment to draw your attention to Spireton? Spireton sits at the Archive's doorstep. Whoever holds it is within spitting probability of controlling the entire analytical planetoid. Just a fact worth noting.
A long time. Do you suppose there's been another...
When asked about the average...
Replenishing my fire
famous cartographer Newton Odescard replied, with no hesitation, gaze. To experience in astronomy, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No. No, it would not. The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all of this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission theory. The typical piece of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb, so they can be modeled as idealized dark, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what is while stellar temperature determines the skin, glow, infrared and not visible to us with our I did not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder? I would think the listeners could easily draw this trivial conclusion for themselves, but if I must... It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition itself would constitute evidence for intelligent interference, and no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Newton Odescard, the famous stellar cartographer. The methodology of the Odescard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in every grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is near 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, While the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult.
Yeah, it's my professional opinion that Valancourt's got issues. This manner of tidiness is compensating for something.
You have tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify. Make Pinnacle Meal Replacement Bars the complete part of your daily meals and of the plan. Designed for optimal nutritional extraction, they also taste acceptable. From the Order of the Ascendant. A roguish comical remark discovered upon a chalkboard. And his choice and the Protectorate both count very little. The Order of the Ascendant counts the most. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper. Your fractions should never be.
Having that device nabbed on his watch nigh guarantees Valancourt a long stay and mental refreshment, if he is not subjected to swift and fitting arbitration first. I've already shared more with you than I ought have, but go ahead. I'd theorized long exposure to a rift might result in severe variance to weaponry. Well, you are welcome to it. Being proven right is its own pleasure. Matriarch's blessings on you. Let's not waste time then. I'll lead us to the restricted wing now. Once there, reopen the rift using the modulator, so we can begin searching for clues. There's the sorry excuse of interstitial reconfigurating matter that claimed my arm. Let's open the hood, shall we? Rifts reconstitute matter in an imprecise manner, but use your imagination to conjure the original seed that could lead us to the evidence we need.
academical activity, please lend me your divided attention to acknowledge our archive facility on Cloister. Not long before yet, we lost computational control of the archive to those unsophisticated Anti's Choice lay people, who in turn lost it to our foes in the Protectorate. Both parties surely fouled the logic assemblies of our planetary analytic engine with their processing requests. Which is why we must reacquire the archive at the earliest feasible opportunity, even if we must contract with outside assistance. Once we reassume control and cleanse the archive of its conflicting calculations, we can once again set it to the open task of solving the universal equation.
And message with the static side on such as
And now, additional data and your music determined to facilitate this properly cognitive function.
You've discovered something. You've discovered something. I knew it! I am absolved. And yet, I cannot possibly imagine what would have possessed him to deliberately endanger the Sovereign's life. It's unconscionable. I would characterize Valancourt as many vile and unmentionable things, but a traitor? No. The man cannot defecate without humming a Protectorate anthem. For all the time I've spent trying to unsnarl Valancourt's mercurial behavior, it seems there was yet more I did not know about him. Did you uncover anything else? How did this go unnoticed during final checks? This is surely why the rift destabilized on us. I think I'm beginning to understand exactly what happened here. But if you have any additional points of data, please share them.
washed beneath abstraction. Can I calculate truth or assumption? Where does love fit in a constant?
You've discovered something. I think I can formulate my own conclusion from here. Our dear head of security has much to answer for. We need to go and confront Valancourt, now. I'm no longer willing to wait for the arc of justice to bend in my favor. Valancourt needs to die for what he's done. If I distract him, can I count on you to do the rest? He wouldn't dare. I've devoted more hours to studying rifts than almost anyone living. And since the Order abandoned us, the Protectorate does not have minds like mine to spare. Trust me, I know Valancourt. This will work. The dead do make poor chroniclers. Very well. Much as I would like to be present for the hoisting of Valancourt's petard, there's sense in what you say. Valancourt is unlikely to provide conversation before slipping you a bullet, so I recommend slipping him one first. Be ready to fight and give him no quarter. When it's done, return to me. Erstwhile, I will be doing my ample best not to chew through my nail beds.
Listening to Grand Plan Wireless, Arcadia's voice of reason. Exactly after this hour, it's another installment of Ask Vicar with Vicar Magsizer. A listener asks, who was the charismatic mathematician, and why do we call him thus?
Truly an inquiry for the ages. We know what he was. The progenitor of the Order, the man responsible for elevating the Academic Advisory Board to a humanity-saving belief system. The answer to who he was is more elusive. This is truly...
Enough hiding! You want this fight long enough. Guards, see to this intruder with extreme pressure.
Step aside. Why? All on the wrist. It might sting. All on the wrist. Coming.
Answer in a later installment.
Recharge for mayhem! Try and keep your guts on the inside. Step aside. Why? It might sting. Alive.
Function F.
Still charging.
Function F in mind. Plus the F in mind.
Yeah!
In all cases that you know, starting where N is so low.
Wrist weapon prime!
Great you!
Define the recurrence relation. Get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaci. Gazing upon the golden spiral, a part that's quite so vital, arcing in a circle motion, giving squares perfect quotient, 0, 1, 1, and again, 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34, we're counting through. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaasi. The Fibonacci sequence is a sequence in which each number is the sum of the two preceding ones. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 1, 44, and so on and so forth. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaasi.
Next, the latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations.
Now that you have the Rift modulator, any previously inaccessible Rift could be worth revisiting. Rift may contain useful equipment and resources. However,
Valued students of the Order of the Ascendant, recent fascinating but alarming astronomical events require your immediate and undivided cognitive attention. The main rift anomaly has undergone a sudden destabilization event, spiking in mass and activity, surging 17.2% into a web-like construct spanning 0.17 astronomical units. The geometrical math underlying this energetic intensification reshapes our understanding of exponential dynamics. No exaggeration, we will spend years analyzing this phenomenon. Yet we must suppress our curiosity for the moment. It has become clear that both the large and localized rifts have transitioned into an existential threat to the entire colony. Why our Vicar Laureate was nearly consumed by the rift's runaway expansion while on an important research excursion. He barely escaped being reduced to his constituent nucleons. Our seers predict with a 37.6% certainty that the localized rifts across Arcadia will also intensify. If you observe something, write something. Citing sources and submitting for peer review, of course. Thus, we will save humanity and preserve the rifts for laboratory study, a logical course of action with no risk of mishap.
Now do carry on. And as always, anticipate and calculate.
Further beneficial content soon follows. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
I heard fighting. Well, what happened? Did he beg forgiveness? Did he grovel? Thus always to traitors. Morale will certainly improve in the lab now, I should think, provided Valancourt's replacement is not also an absolute Pilgarlic. I had prepared this trauma kit, but obviously that turned out to be an unnecessary precaution. Please, take it with my gratitude. I'm not sure murdering the head of security at a highly valued research facility makes the argument you think it does, but noted. Have no fear. No evidence of our little collaboration will survive. I'll see to it.
Structurally compelling yet categorically voracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus.
Error! Currently excluding additional input.
Protein Slab contains exactly the amount of protein your body can process at a given time. Make Axiom your axiom of choice. From the Order of the Ascendant. In times of peril, remind yourself, contentment is found by accepting your role in the grand plan. Understanding your place, knowing your course, removes all worry and doubt. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
When you have a moment, Commander, I'd like to talk. Commander, I've been thinking on the fact that so many of my slack-witted brethren believe it reasonable that I've been marked for death. So much so that I've missed the obvious. Our communication devices. There is someone who would have tried to contact me to warn me. Someone who wouldn't have been taken in by a faked kill order. Point taken. You know, I really should have seen the flaw in recruiting suggestible slackwits to our cause. But Severin is different. I knew him from before. Long before the Glorious Dawn. We had a secret code we used to hide things from our parents before... Well, never mind that. Very well. Let's just say that he was forbidden to associate with me and leave it at that. Anyway, if he used that code to embed a message to me within a Dawn missive, no one would have even known it was there. I should have been checking our comm devices, damn it. That cell you cleared out in Newton might have one of our devices. Hopefully, it will bring me that much closer to whoever it is I need to kill to put an end to this nonsense.
That scum. That miserable scum. To think he would stoop so low as to overthrow the Sovereign. I shall not rest until the Consul pays for his treachery and Arcadia's rightful ruler is reinstated. Were they still the Protectorate, such would be a traitorous aim to entertain. But a Protectorate led by the Consul is no Protectorate at all. I fear how my fellow subjects will respond to this news. I believe that most will remain loyal to the Sovereign, but I will need to deal with those who strayed. I know all too well how easily one can be manipulated into misdeeds through blind servitude. I shall do my utmost to bring those who can be saved onto the path of righteousness. I sincerely doubt this is the end of my thoughts related to the matter, but we've wasted enough time with my ruminating. Let us be off.
Increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus. Drink Maxima alcohol-free liquor.
The other brands may be 80, but ours has 80 proofs, one printed on each label.
Of the Ascendant. Ever bear in mind, we are molecular machines, our bodies a tuft of atoms, our minds a result of chemical reactions, our lives predestined along paths clear only in retrospect. This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
One thing that you have to know, irrationality is good for the workflow. How can that be? How can that be? Infinite, a measure of mystery, unveils the key to logic's asymmetry. How can that be? How can that be? Irrationality. One thing that you must profess, irrationality is a part of our progress. How can that be? How can that be? Using pi, a number without end, evokes a result correct in the dividend. Accept it, and you can plainly see a positive externality. Positive externality. Positive externality. One thing you can plainly see, accepted in this infinity. Can it be a positive externality? One thing, the irrational term accepted in the calculation. Can it be? Can result in explanation. How can that be? How can that be? How can that be?
This melodious little ditty was dedicated to novice Gertrude Powell. Your nominate admirer is taking great interest in your figure work and projections.
Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be. The latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. Truncated courtesies. I bear a dispatch of great noteworthiness. Our former Protectorate colleagues have undergone a radical leadership shift. I submit this recorded announcement, intercepted from a Protectorate wireless broadcast, as empirical evidence.
Subjects, listen well. Days ago, our beloved sovereign, in his infinite wisdom, submitted himself to mental refreshment to strengthen his resolve for the good of all. At his command, I, Emery Thoreau, now accept the responsibility of shepherding you through these dark times until our sovereign's blessed return. I shall not take this duty lightly.
There you have it, an objectively momentous turn of Protectorate events, announced by the very individual we suspect orchestrated it. Just a theory, but the data supports it. Rigorous analysis of the consul's voice inflection reveals telltale signs of deception. We estimate with a 48% certainty that the Protectorate has undergone a coup. Certainly not unexpected, given our knowledge of the Protectorate's societal structure and our own fraught relationship with Consul Emery Thoreau. Work groups of tenured seers in the Department of Predictive Analysis are calculating likely outcomes of these events. Expect addenda to this report as they develop.
So ends this missive.
Continuing as predetermined. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
Do not worry when things become complicated. Studied and matriculated. There's no need to suffer from perplexity in the face of a course of large complexity. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. We have tools to tame high-order equations. They are useful in problematic occasions. You can take the formula's derivative
to Grand Plan Wireless.
These temporary indignities of the body are nothing contrasted to the Order's future. Keep those eyes open, soldiers!
Questions.
Nothing but disgust for your corporate overlords. At least the invasion stirred up some much-needed chaos in Arcadia.
Have I mentioned that I got no interest in your opinions of my overlords?
We can always talk about you then. Like how you were the victim of corporate greed and hubris.
Reckon I wasn't clear. I got no interest in your opinions about anything.
I receive such queries regularly. Based on a method known as merged spline interpolation, one solution would be to engage in both professions. Just be careful to avoid Runge's phenomenon of convergent oscillation. But of course, you already know how to circumvent such a simple polynomial degeneracy. Below, raw speed.
Second query, should I have another offspring? I already have 2 of them.
Your answer requires more elaborate mathematics than I can perform in the moment, but here's a general calculation based on the desired procreation rate of 2.3 offspring per couple. Calculate the sum of the children in the first 5 couples that live to your left, and add to it the sum of the children in the first 5 couples that live to your right. If this total sum is less than 23, you should have another child. If the sum is greater than 23, you should not have another child. If the sum is exactly 23, you should move to a new neighborhood and repeat the experiment. Next query.
Final question from the Vicar. Do these pantaloons make my posterior look overly substantial?
No, these pantaloons do not appear as a term in the antecedent of that statement. Instead, other terms are leading to the validity of that assertion. Thank you for listening.
What happens next may surprise you, but not us. And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
Seems the Protectorate has been gaining ground since winning control of the Archive.
UENIAC has likely been sorting out their logistic problems. Took a moon-sized computer to do it. Imbeciles.
You're the anomalous outlier from the wireless.
If it isn't my new favorite operator.
ability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics. Statistics, at its heart, is not but data. Data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role of chance in that analysis? Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really two outcomes? Is there not one specific outcome we can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance, only outcome. Complete information yields perfect predictions, 100% accuracy, known outcomes. Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the Order for initiates to grasp. If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped, and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose? If so, what part of that choice was ever left to chance? The answer, of course, is none. Only when there is less than complete information are we reduced to chance. At present,
You have my thanks.
we do not have...
My monitoring station has already informed me that the Resistor Bank is operating as expected. Such good work definitely deserves a reward.
and standard deviations, which lead to the dreaded sigma of
That is most unfortunate, but at least his sacrifice did help improve the operations per millisecond. I will include his name in the records for this repair.
such travesty. No, not a travesty, a tragedy, a horror. A horror the Archive will help us avoid. Every bit of data collected, analyzed, and input by our archivists brings us closer to our goal, to the solving of the universal equation. Probability is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Help us know. Contribute any and all data you can collect to our proud archivists. And you too can say you contributed to the Archive.
You have tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify.
The future of nourishment is here. Apogee chips, shelf-stable and intestinally safe. Tomorrow's favorite snack...
These temporary indignities of the body are nothing contrasted to the Order's future. Keep those eyes open, soldiers! Cordial frostbite
A minute calculation brings us closer to solving the universal equation. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Generating primes, techniques, and uses. Good day and welcome again to Advanced Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progressions. My name is Edmund Vandersmythe, and I am the Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics for the Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numismatics for those new. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite the fact that you should have learned that definition decades ago, while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I have also been called redundant several times, and what? Once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call them that set n2. Then a prime is any number in the set n2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers in the set n2. A simple definition. Elegant, even. Uplifting. Almost ascendant, you could say. But not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked, why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it?
This is Protectorate territory, all right. Ain't looking to instigate anything, Commander. But if these bastards make any threat on my person, no promises.
And then what good are prime
Wait,
numbers?
not again! Gary?
Why would we want to find
What in the void happened to you?
There are all kinds of abstract number theory applications, and that should and would be sufficient reason to want them.
What?
But there are
Am I gonna tell the commander?
Say, practical applications, such as maintaining the security of bit cartridges. In fact, our archive uses primes for that reason and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage and retrieval on its ultra-efficient system of data bricks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numismatics researcher, there are several open questions in the area
armor?
of prime number study.
Stars,
One such
I'm gonna
question is
hurl.
this.
I wanna go home to Halcyon. I hate it here. You saw me try to stop him, right? Boyd,
No one has ever proven
you're
this conjecture.
wearing him.
Similarly,
What is
are there
wrong
an
with you?
infinite number
What
of prime pairs
am
that
I
differ
gonna
by
tell the
only
commander?
2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these proofs and become the next senior tenured laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good disquisitions to you all, and good day.
You are listening to Grand Plan Wireless, Arcadia's voice of reason. And now, with another enlightening missive for the always inquisitive, it's time for Ask the Vicar with Vicar Mark Sisai. Student wants to know, what exactly did the charismatic mathematician teach?
One can spend a lifetime poring over the mathematician's works and still never grasp every lick and tittle. I'll give you the 60-second version. This progenitor of the order was the first to teach the defined and objective methods that led from the actuational mental stage to one of transcendence for all. He taught how society could reach its full potential and then move one stage beyond full humanity-spanning actualization. A society at that final stage will exceed human consciousness and understand infinity itself, grasping all of the cosmos as a single equation of thought. The universal equation. Time and space and thought will become one to the participants, who will act as a single godlike entity. The source of all causation and the benefactor of all understanding. In essence, nothing will be left to chance. The Ascendants will see all that was, is, and meant to be. Humanity is well along this path to omniscience. We can thank the charismatic mathematician for giving us a metaphorical kick in the correct direction. If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. The future is colliding with the present every moment.
And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
Guaranteeing the conclusion. Using inference and logic to cover all the bases. And with reason and deduction. So it's always true in all possible cases. Prove it, yes you must prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, just deduce it. Prove it, yes you must prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, show us how it works. What's a basic proof? Let's show how it works. Here's a basic proof. The sum of two even numbers, this you can believe in. The sum of two even numbers always comes out even. A proof, a very proven proof. That is how it works. That's a basic proof. Can you give another one more basic proof? When a triangle exists with an angle that is right, square their shorter sides, shorter based on height. The sum of those squares will always be of use as the square of the longest side, the hypotenuse. A proof, a very proven proof. You think you know it all, the answer's in your heart. Unless you show the proof, your theory will be picked apart. Your theory will be picked apart. Prove it, yes you must prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, just deduce it. Prove it, yes you must prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, just deduce it. If you cannot prove it, take your theory and remove it. You must prove it.
Broadcasting cognitive resonance across Arcadia, this is Grand Plan Wireless. You have questions? Vicar Magsaysay has informed answers, as evidenced by another installment of Ask a Vicar. A listener asks, why am I so bored? I am always bored. In fact, I'm bored now.
An honest question begging for an honest answer. Numerous studies have shown that boredom is inversely proportional to intelligence. Normally, I would suggest a variety of mathematical puzzles and problems to increase your profundication, but I don't see that as the best solution in your case. Instead, I recommend the following. Purchase a small rubber ball and learn to bounce it. Best of luck to you.
Stay tuned for what follows. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
Buy from me and live to tell your fellows about my storms.
My contraptions don't explode no— Hello once more. I guarantee you some of my inventions will be working soon. In the meantime, I've plenty of miscellanea for sale. Oh, I prefer to focus on the present and the future, and not things that may or may not keep me awake in the dark and lonesome hours of the night. Great. Let's get back to not this subject. Anybody even listening to this? Let me sell you stuff?
Now watching.
My boy had lost all his spark when he got back from mental refreshment. I thought he seemed to touch melancholy before, and this would help. So much to learn here, you know? Seems like every time I talk to someone...
I'm thankful Sub Rosa gave her shelter.
One thing I do like?
Without the station.
Stimulants, medicaments. Got a sale on teeth extraction. If you've wounds that need stitching or teeth that need scrutiny. If you've a tooth pain, you know who to visit.
Get caught unawares all you like. My armor will keep... I feel I should address any allegations you may have heard regarding bloodstains on my inventory. Just means it's been well loved. Tell me what you need. Booming now. As it happened, their owners mysteriously vanished. I picked up their inventories real cheap, since they were just taking up station storage. It sure was a convenient windfall for yours truly. Real convenient. If you lost it, I'm selling it.
Free to take.
This is Grand Plan Wireless.
Garmin's here. Auntie's Choice thanks you. If you're in need of sprucing up the old wardrobe, I can provide. Used to have turned out to be generic clothes. My gear has the fewest holes out of any clothes-on station for your money back.
For those of you away in the field,
Mind your own illicit business, and I'll mind mine.
Their team plays the worst.
Thanks for the name
anyone has
suggestion.
ever played.
You're now
First back is perfect.
Citizens for the Advancement of Common Knowledge.
Welcome to Zeranium and You, a brief accounting of this crucial material. Though minute amounts were first discovered in the Beta Draconis system,
Time for
Zeranium
discounts.
wasn't found in significant quantities until the terraforming of Cloister and Eden, since it's become the principal power source for...
Whatever you're selling, I am not in the black market.
But it's not without its dangers, and lower risk. Efficient utilization took time. Zeranium in its liquid state is volatile.
Buy it from me, please.
It is toxiferous to organic material, but in its crystal state,
Blades, bludgeons.
not for the sake of course. You wouldn't sprinkle uranium crystals on your nutrient bars, but they won't kill you on immediate contact. Certainly more harvestable in our Zeranium manufactory. Imagine
Greetings again. You may have defeated me last time, but I shall rise from the ashes someday. In the meantime, you're welcome to browse my collection.
Zeranium powers everything from laboratories out.
In the wake of my defeat, I've taken a brief break. I'm contemplating what I might collect next. I've heard sprats are rarely born with mutations like extra toes and acid vision. Perhaps I'll start an exotic sprat farm. Then I could pit my sprats against opposing farm sprats. Battle sprats. Imagine the merchandising opportunities. Eat your heart out, Auntie Cleo. Behold.
This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
It means your proof is ended.
buy from me? Please?
Can't afford.
Error. Roach sales grandstanding not found.
Elucidate and demonstrate. Get to the point and do not vacillate.
And now, constructually compelling yet categorically voracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus.
You may think you have tasted a great old-fashioned cocktail, but have you tasted the highest-rated old-fashioned ever created? Now you can, with Asymptote Bourbon, consistently rated the best from the Order of the Ascendant.
Never forget, we will unlock humanity's true potential. In due course, in due time, each fulfilling our prescribed role within the grand plan.
Anybody even listening to this? Let me tell you stuff.
And become allergic to water this year.
Mucus, half off today only.
Are there any numbers you can name us? Are there any numbers that are famous? The ratio known as golden. It is written as the Greek letter pi. From nothing and now she's sexy. Oh, yes, the number known as pi. Pi is a worldwide phenomenon. Attempt to square a circle and you'll need it.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. An unfortunate event has transpired. A massive explosion at Alexandra Monastery in Matriarch's Mercy has sent rocky debris raining down upon inhabited areas below. Yet, on a favorable note, this event has positively validated Seer Wiley's exclusion zone predictions. The aforesaid debris landed in the forewarned areas with an 89.3% accuracy. Additionally, through the efforts of Administrator Agarwal, no members of the displaced were housed in these locations at the time.
So ends this mystery.
Further beneficial content soon follows. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
The spread, illnesses, and eventual control of the purple berry parasite. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 begins here. Hello. For the record, my name is Marie de Rothschild, Junior Archivist, Class 4 of the Archive. Today, I would like to talk about irresponsible spread of the purple berry parasite and its numerous subsidiaries and former supernumerary, although that's a different lecture. The spread of this parasite included a corresponding rise in gastrointestinal illnesses and deaths, until basic preventative measures were put in place after illness-related costs exceeded corporate profits. As is usual for anti-choice. The purple berry parasite infects nearly 100% of all purple berry bushes, both in the wild, on corporate farms, and even in our hydroponic collectives. Originally discovered on a single colony world, the purple berry plant was subsequently spread throughout the colonies due to Anti's Choice's poorly regulated interstellar shipping. Well, actually, it was due to Spacer's Choice, which somehow merged with another company to become Anti's Choice. Honestly, these corporate interactions make little sense to me, as they mostly amount to relabeling assets and changing letterhead and mascot cartoons. So I will just refer to them as Anti's Choice going forward, even though that may offend some of my more literal-minded colleagues. But I digress. The purple berry plant was at first thought to be poisonous, as the early colonists eating its berries died from the most potent of discharges this documentarian has ever witnessed, in a rare Anti's Choice lab recording in our archive, which we acquired from a corporate defector to the Protectorate before our stellar system was sealed and the Order ceased daily interactions with our Protectorate allies. But again, I digress. Belated testing by Anti's Choice's unlettered scientists showed that the berries were not poisonous at all. Instead, they were infected with a microscopic parasite, the parasite, or PBP, as it is coded in Anti's Choice's records. More specifically, the PBP eggs are found in every area of an infected plant, where these eggs have been subdermally injected by the second stage of the parasite. But I am getting ahead of myself. Let's examine the PBP life cycle in detail. After an infected berry is eaten by a host, the microscopic eggs inside the berries are exposed to the host's digestive enzymes, which trigger their hatching. These parasites enter their second stage as spiky, worm-like creatures with outsized, pincer-like mandibles, which then proceed to feed on the host directly, ingesting tissue and blood along the entire intestine. These worms are eventually expelled when they reach a size of approximately 2 centimeters in length, and they then seek out nearby purpleberry plants to lay their eggs in the ripening purple berries. And I should add, that are well in this entire process. Also, as the expelled contents contain undigested purpleberry seeds, the distribution of the plants is increased, helping infected purpleberry plants to spread farther and grow better than uninfected ones. Perhaps unsurprisingly, careless Auntie's Choice scientists mislabeled this case of obvious symbiosis, given how both the purpleberry plant and its parasite are benefited by the relationship, as a parasitical relationship. Given that initial classification error, it's a wonder the Auntie's Choice scientists managed to ascertain any subsequent safeguards at all. After some additional casualties, plodding Auntie's Choice field researchers discovered that co-native planetary fauna was well adapted to the parasite, and hardly affected by it to any large amount. But human colonists were not so fortunate. The PvP worms disrupted the human internal biome to such a degree that the eventual correspondingly large immune response leads to violently explosive diarrhea, resulting in the expelling of the worms, berries, and most of the person's gastrointestinal tract. Human casualty rates were close to 100%, even when reluctant to be given medical attention by Auntie's doctors, who were more concerned with upselling unnecessary procedures or prescribing expensive ointments such as their antibiotics, a topical cream that offers no benefit to the dying patient, possibly smoothing away stubborn However, given the purpleberry's non-zero nutritional value and low growing costs, impatient Auntie's Choice administration officials directed their labs to find ways to remove the parasite from the berry. A variety of methods were tested and found effective, but they were all time-consuming and wasteful of the edible portion of the purpleberry, so these methods were deemed non-cost-effective and rejected out of hand. Eventually, the answer was found in the lab, but in history. Specifically, a history text on Saltuna, a crossbreed of two different fish species called salmon and tuna, was found that contained a reference to anisakid nematodes, or salmon worms, with an estimated 70 to 90% of all salmon being infected by these parasites. More importantly, the text contained the solution to eradicating these parasites: freezing. The simple and obvious act
My
of
blood
freezing
boils.
salmon.
He will pay 1,000 times for this treachery. Any fool enough to stand beside him will fall as well. Justice will spare none. None!
The remaining parasite eggs were not removed, a method that was judged too wasteful and expensive, since they increased the protein content of the berry without affecting the texture or flavor in any discernible way. The microscopic egg remains were simply too small to be seen or felt by the unaided eyes and tongues of their consumers, so Auntie's Choice administrators were satisfied with this inept solution. Purple berries are now a common nutritional and flavoring agent throughout the colony worlds. Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of purpleberry-themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free. But in any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated their contempt for their customers, for nature, and for any pretense of safety. Another reason this documentarian is grateful for our order's fabricated nutritional foodstuffs. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 ends here.
My contraptions don't Hello once more. I guarantee you some of my... Oh, I prefer to focus on the present and the future, and not things that may or may not keep me awake in the dark. And are you an alienist? I ain't never had time to see one, but having one make a business call, maybe you're right. I'll give it a try. Before it crashed, I served on the free market as a secondary engineer, first grade. Had a colleague who was very talented, but not very good at hiding it. The supervisor saw her as a threat and demoted her to the engine room. She wasn't the type to take a blow without dodging. In Auntie's Choice, there's politics among waste technicians. My colleague sabotaged the engines when her partner was on his mandated 2-minute break. When the free market attempted to breach orbit, well, just about everyone died. I made it to an escape pod on the port side. The ship landed on its starboard. I got lucky. Yeah, me too. Anyway, can we get back to subjects that aren't this? I got goods to sell. Anybody even listening to this? Let me sell you stuff.
You need coveralls. We got coveralls.
Doctor here. Get your stitches.
You had your eyes open to the Buy for me and live to tell your fellows about my store.
Greetings. How has the data collection fared?
Protect your loved ones, protect yourself. Buy some new armor today.
Now watch. Watching. time for discounts.
Run along now. I've spent more than enough time entertaining wayward sprats.
How's that lone subject of yours working out? Ran screaming back to the Protectorate yet?
No, it's going a little too well, if I'm honest. I think the freedom of what we do here might have gone to her head. First taste of the freedom bought with her ill-gotten bit, and now she can't stop. She's moved 22 crates of contraband in the last week.
22? That's more than I had in 3 months. She's making us both look
Line
bad.
our pockets.
This ain't the place to go poking your nose in other folks' business.
Greetings! How has the data collection fared? Finally, a breakthrough! Let's hear it. How did the ACS free market meet its end? So the backstabbing nature of Auntie's choice is hampering even the most basic of command chains. Good to know. Aside from the crash, what occurred in the ship's final moments? That's certainly. Last question. Were there any contributing factors to the crash? Anything that might recontextualize what actually happened? Failing to recognize ability? Seems Auntie's choice is forgetting where upward enters into the phrase upward mobility. This report is going to bear some glaring absences, which is unfortunate. Still,
We hope you enjoyed that melody, while contemporaneously wishing you did not find its tempo, chord progression, form, and/or meter overly distracting.
And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
Not watching.
Do not worry when things become complicated. Went to school and studied, then matriculated. There's no need to suffer from perplexity.
time. I'm unready.
Time we deserve it.
No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. We have tools to tame high-order equations. They are useful in problematic occasions. You can take the formula's derivative, or use square roots of numbers that are negative. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. Calculating the center of gravity of a shape possessing concavity, or a shape with manifold convexity. You can manage any such complexity. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. Complexity is partially imaginary.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. An unfortunate event has transpired. A massive explosion at Alexandra Monastery in Matriarch's Mercy has sent rocky debris raining down upon
How's that lone subject of yours working out? Ran screaming back to the Protectorate yet?
No, it's going a little too well.
Alice, take it.
The aforesaid debris landed in the forewarned areas with an 89.3% accuracy. Additionally, through the efforts of Administrator Garwal, no members of the displaced were housed in these locations at the time.
That is all for now. Until next time, keep hail and mind your calculations. Unlike parallel lines, numbers and daylight.
Continuing as predetermined. And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-loved melodies and become allergic to water this year.
Get caught unawares? I'll be like, my armor will...
If you've a tooth pain, you know...
Nothing Steal it.
It's all...
Steal it.
So sweet.
what you have to know.